Hi everyone. Today we are with Caleb, traders trading with us with The5ers. I think you joined 1 year ago, and you succeed by moving some of the phases. So hi Caleb, how are you? And thank you for being with me.
Good, I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Describe, a short story about yourself in trading. When did you start? Why you joined The5ers, and what are your next target in trading?
Well, I started trading back in 2007, so quite some time ago. I started trading Forex. Um, I traded for about 2-3 years intensively. I would stay up in the United States. You have to stay up in the middle of the night to like 2 in the morning if you want to trade the London Open. And then the New York Open was around 7 o'clock, depending on which time zone you're in. So I did that fairly intensively for about 2-3 years. Kind of figured out what I was doing, what strategies worked for me, the support and resistance trading that I do now. But I didn't have any capital to trade with back then. It's impressive to turn in a $500 account into $1,500. I would do stuff like that, but especially with the trading, the support and resistance trading that I ended up doing, setups don't come every day. Maybe once or twice a week at most. So it would take years to flip an account like that. So it wasn't going to be something I could do for a living at that point. So I eventually went to law school, became a trial lawyer. That's what I do full time now. Trial lawyer, work during the day, normal daytime hours, and then takes me a few minutes each night, set my trades for the session. Yeah. So I would say my life consists of my current work life consists of 97% law and about 3% trading, but that's all you need. All I've needed to keep an edge in trading.
Yeah, definitely. It's interesting because you started in 2007. It's almost 15 years ago, and in 2007 there was not a prop trading industry like we have today. There is no like the whole process and taking an evaluation and growing your account. Before, if I remember, in 2007, you had to go to the broker, and it's a lot of paperwork, send KYC, and all of kind of stuff. So it was quite difficult to join the market, trading market. And today, with the prop trading industry, and of course with The5ers, you have this opportunity to only be focusing on trading. And what is good for you is that you have your work life, like you work 97% of your time, like you said, and you can actually hold an account with The5ers, which I mean, if you don't have a lot of time, you'll probably make your positions as swing, like holding the trade in a long time. You don't have a lot of time to manage, maybe, or so maybe let's go deeper into your trading strategy. How do you trade? Because you already have a job probably next to it. You are not a full-time trader, so it's interesting.
Yeah. So well, the prop firm accounts I trade are on trade copiers to my main account. So it takes takes the trades that I take in my personal account. So I look for, each weekend, I'll start on the weekly and monthly charts and look for key support and resistance levels, at least one above and one below on the monthly and weekly charts, where, if the price were to reach there, I'd, really expect a turn. When you're trading technicals, you're looking for the times in the market when the technicals are the loudest thing. So obviously, if you're getting rate cuts, those technical levels are going to get smashed like they don't exist, or in a heavily trending fundamental environment. So you got to be aware of what's going on in the market. I actually prefer more of the quieter times in the market when there isn't as much fundamental news, because that's when the market's going to respect the technical levels as being the loudest thing or the most salient thing to traders in the market. Can I share my screen or?
Yeah, of course. You are able to share your screen if you want.
All right. So I usually start by I use Forex Factory. Look for any red news that's going to affect my trades for that week. Take note of any really heavy trading. For example, in the first week of the month, before non-farm payrolls, I'll stop trading for the couple days before then, because market doesn't care about anything but that number. Days leading up to it, and everything's noise. So I just step out during that time. But in the evenings when I'm setting up my trades, I'll check to make sure I'm not going to get the technical level smashed by some news that comes out. I also like to look at the sentiment to see which way the market might be leaning. And maybe I'd be a little bit more aggressive about my entries or not so much. The sentiment, this shows the numbers of longs and shorts in the market of retail traders. It usually doesn't have much of an effect unless it's extremely positioned, like more than 80% in one direction. Like the pound here, that's going to have no effect really. But I like to know if the market's positioned to an extreme, because it does tend to keep trending that way, and then I might be a little more aggressive about an entry in the direction of that trend.
Yeah, this is quite interesting, because some other traders are, look at this one, at the sentiment, and say, okay, if retail traders, because I believe most of the trends here is taken by retail trader, and they'd say, okay, if 90% of retail traders are long, they probably expect the market to smash all the retail traders and move to the other way. So actually, you're looking maybe off the trend on the trend. I don't know. Maybe you can.
Well, yeah, I am working against the retail traders as well.
So okay, that's fine.
But that just tells me which way the market might be leaning. The market won't just go. Sometimes the retail traders get it right. It's not an indicator. I wouldn't use it necessarily, but I want to know if it's extremely positioned, because again, I want my support and resistance levels to be the most important thing in the market. I don't want news messing up my levels. I don't want the positioning of other traders messing up my levels. Like if there's too many retail trader stops in the level, it's going to go through it too far. So I want to make sure that my levels are the strongest thing in the market before I put a limit order out there. And so that's my main reason for checking it, is because I want to make sure that there isn't anything out there that's going to be a louder or more market influential than my levels. So this is the trade I took to all right. So here's the Japanese yen, and I had levels marked up on there. This is the trade I took that went through that I advanced to the next level on the 5ers. I had a level marked up here. You can see it bounced on this 128.85, 128.86 level here. We had it came down, touched it, bounced off. It was shy about it for a little bit. Then it broke through it, came back, retouched it, moved on down like this, and then I placed a trade for it when it came back. Sentiment and everything lined up. It entered right here and exited right here. So,
and here the risk reward is quite interesting. It's more than 1 to 3, maybe 1 to 4.
Yeah, it's 3. This trade was 3. I always go for at least 1 to 2. It's not always 3, but what I keep it focused on to actually let my profit target kind of drive my stop. So, looking at this trade, I figured the market would come back to at least this next point right here. You can see there's some support here in the market.
Yeah,
there. So I had my take profit come up short of that, because that might be a tough level to break through, and sure enough, it was.
Right.
And then I'll pull my stop down to be 3 to 1 or 1 to 2.
Interesting. So did this trade, did you place a limit, a sell limit? Okay, so actually maybe you were sleeping and you put a limit and it takes and everything. Okay, interesting.
I was asleep the whole time. I woke up and I'd made money. It was great.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
It's easy in the psychology when you're asleep.
Yeah, because you don't need to move, and I agree with that. And here it's H4 chart, so of course it gives enough time for the price to move. That's what actually you did here. You let the price move, take a level, and then going back. So okay, interesting.
So I've currently got 2 limit orders in the market right now. One is at this monthly level that I'm really excited about, the New Zealand dollar.
Yeah.
The blue ones are monthly levels. So, we got 2 highs here. It bounced off here, went up, broke under, came up, tagged twice, and then moved down. I anticipate a hard sell once it gets up to that level again. So I got a limit order just sitting there. This is the kind of trade it's so strong. There's not much news that would prevent me from taking this trade. I mean, maybe non-farm payrolls, but this is the level. I just set this order on Sunday, and I'll take it really no matter what. So.
Yeah, so that's good. I believe that you don't wait any price confirmation. You say, okay, here, this is a very big levels. I believe there will be some sell-off and put a limit, and then I go with the market. So that's mainly what you do. And actually, it's working for you, and then it's good.
Yeah, right. I don't, I played with, if I traded full time, I could probably zoom in on the 15-minute, hour time frame. If you've got the time, I mean, you could get a better risk reward maybe. But it does chop around a little bit sometimes, and it's hard to know. I played with different kinds of confirmations. I have a guy in Ukraine who's programmed some different MetaTrader 4 or 5 like candlestick reversal patterns to try to zoom in a little bit, but nothing works better so far than just putting a limit order on. Those have their own drawbacks.
Agree. I just want to show to other people your equity chart in the previous levels. It's
okay.
It will show actually the consistency you had in your trade. You mentioned that you were risking 1 to 2 risk reward. So meaning all the time you were winning a trade, you will see your equity curve all the time moving up. It's quite interesting to see your equity chart. I will just show this here.
Also, if I have the opportunity to, sometimes I'll move to break even too. So there's some break even trades. There's some scratches in there as well.
Yeah. So actually, you see your equity chart here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's interesting. See, you start with a small drawdown, and you see you don't have a big a loss that lose more than 3-4% of your account, and all the time you succeed by making a trade and all the time moving up. It looks like an elevator. You see, like, okay, you were blocked here, taking some losses, and then okay, I have a win, and then continue, and you consistently achieve your strategy, and by the end, working the target. And how much time it takes for you? So you start in May 2022. And reach the target last week in the 16th of January. So that's also a good information for traders. Sometimes you don't need to rush. You need to keep your strategy for the long time, and that's what you did here. You didn't say, okay, I want to make a lucky trade and make all the risk in one side, and if it goes, I'm moving up. You very we look that you keep your discipline here in the stage. So this is very interesting. Also, what is good in the favor is that you don't have time limits at that time at this stage. Let's say for all the stage, so you are free of trading your account anytime you want. So that's also a good point. Yes, it's quite interesting. Maybe you want to discuss about we see the symbol that you trade the yen most of the time. I agree. I was looking at yen a lot of time past months. Like we touch a big resistance, let's say big supply level in the monthly chart. Maybe that can explain why you trade aggressively the dollar yen. But yeah, it looks like you diversify your portfolio some of the time. You make your analysis before. So yeah, interesting to see also the symbols data here.
Okay, so I really don't trade the yen more than other pairs. Usually, I did have a bot running with really small risk that was looking for 1 hour inside bars during the London session because I had a very bullish view on the dollar yen.
Yeah.
So it would get me in, and then really high risk reward ratio. And then it was kind of the reverse of my strategy, where I was anticipating. I'm still playing with this. It's working so far. It's not my bread and butter, but like I will look for price to go to a level. So saying, I think it's going to reach this next level because it wants to get to support. It's like a magnet. So magnets repel and attract. So I'm, if it's going to be attracted to this level, then I'm looking for, places in the market to get in. And so it was building up positions in the dollar yen.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that particular strategy contributed a lot to my equity curve there. And I'm not really running that one right now, but that's why you see a disproportional amount of yen.
Okay. That explains good why actually we see 50% of the trade are on dollar yen. But just to switch to the subject here, the risk reward ratio is 3.4. That means that you generally said that you're looking for at least 2. Of course, it's statistics, so we don't take so much in consideration the discretionary trading. It's very statistical data, but it looks like you succeed to go above risk reward of 3. Which is quite interesting. Also, even you see that in the profit deals, you have only 30% trades that you take that were profitable. If the risk reward is good time after time, you see that it's quite possible to reach the target and move stage to stage. So yeah, it's quite a good job here.
That might be the toughest psychological part. I mean, the number one thing you can do about your psychology of trading is get a lot of experience, because experience the ups and the downs, and then know that your drawdown, you're going to come through your drawdowns, because when you are winning only 1/3 of the time, it can get discouraging. Trading is not a good place to go for positive feedback if you're somebody who needs that a lot. But market experience is what's going to help you become profitable, because you realize, okay, I just got through another drawdown and another one and another one. I've been through dozens probably at this point. So you just keep executing the plan, and your risk reward ratio will pull you through it.
Yeah, of course. So what I believe what it helped you here, it may be I'm not gonna explain, but it's because you have something to do aside trading, which means that you are focusing all the day on your day, and you let your trades run. So that, like you said, that's helping a lot your psychology, which means I will not move any stop loss. You will not make any over trading. If the stop loss is taken, you will also be sleeping on that time, so will not enter again the market. But yeah, this is interesting.
Yeah. I mean, these daily, weekly, and monthly support and resistance levels are going to be there. They were there in 2007. They worked in between that time. They work now. I think they'll work in 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. A lot of these guys, you see guys, do these flash in the pan kind of, they'll do a strategy on a 5-minute for a little bit, because that's, you're going to have times when it works brilliantly, because those market conditions are there. Then the market conditions change, and, that strategy doesn't work anymore. I think the shorter the time frame of a strategy, the shorter your time frame outlook, probably the more, or you definitely have a lot more market noise, and the more likely it is that whatever strategy you're training on, you're just if it's profitable, you're just benefiting from a specific market condition, and not so much it's not going to last for the long haul.
Yeah, I agree. It's very difficult to be consistent in small time frame, because it's quite difficult to do the same thing time after time. I agree. I agree with that. Otherwise, looking at monthly chart, weekly chart, there are more chance that the market react to these levels, and that's why actually you're doing. I agree. Maybe what's next for you? You're actually trading a 160K account with us.
Yep. Yeah.
You will continue on the same basis, right?
Right. I picked the 5ers. The only prop firms I use are the 5ers and Surge Trader, and the reason for that is because both of your platforms don't have a time limit. Like 30 days, I'm not going to do it in 30 days.
Yeah, of course.
I can't even predict, when my next equity high will be necessarily, but both those are the only prop firm accounts I'm aware of that give you the time to just, that work for traders like me that more longer term focused. And, it took me 7 months to get to the next level. And it might go quicker, if I hit a good market period, equity curve can pop up faster, but, one of my the 5ers is having that time frame, the longer term time frame, no limit well, there was a 6-month limit, which I, was able to hit. But then after that, you don't have those times. And I also like not having a static stop loss, because the search trader has a dynamic one, which, it's always right behind you, but once you get some equity in the 5ers, then it doesn't, you can actually sometimes I'll increase my risk just a little bit once I get a cushion build up, because, you got that static stop loss, that cushion builds up rather than it just pulling your dynamic stop closer to you.
I agree. When you will actually reach a milestone here on the PM1, so you reach 10%, you can take actually the discussion, so the profit you have made here, it will go into a credit into your next account, and it will be like you will be able to manage higher risk into these accounts. So of course, meaning you should take discussion in consideration, and also you can also decide when to withdraw, which is also a nice point. There is only 14 days, which is only to make sure trader is responsible by trading on the long term perspective, like you did. And of course, you can build a cushion very quickly, and by doing that, reaching the higher level here, we go to 4 million. So you have plenty of time to reach the last stage with us.
Yeah.
I wish you this. And maybe a last word about the 5ers, your experience, and also what will be your next objective.
Well, yeah, my next objective is to hit the 320,000 level with the 5ers. I have them attached to my main account. I'm also kind of going to develop more that strategy about where you take 1 hour bar inside bars and then towards a specific target level. I may not use that on the prop firm accounts. I may just trade that in a separate account that does well. I'll probably add that to the repertoire.
Okay. Sounds good. Well, thank you, Caleb, for sharing your experience with us, and sharing also your journey in the 5ers. And I wish you success for the next stage and for the next year also. So yeah, thank you, Caleb, and
thanks.
Thank you for being with us. Thank you.
All right.